So anyone audience have anything to ask?
You
Sorry.
Aditha connect பண்ணு camera. Camera. இல்ல அது.
Professor Natarajan,
Yes. Yes,
I want to know the affordability of this device
Yes.
for ordinary diabetologists like us, you know.
Yes,
And why can't there be a partnership between individual diabetologists and thing, you know?
No,
like
that's
we have ophthalmoscope, but somehow we don't know how to use it, you know.
Sure.
But if, as you say, it's a very simple device, so I think
Yeah, I think.
out the
Sure, Hydri. The whole idea of this meeting, Dr. Hydri is a senior diabetologist practicing in Chennai for long, and he's a classmate of mine. And we have Dr. Arshad, also ophthalmologist here. No, the idea is of the meeting is to say we don't need doctors to use this. Munish is not a doctor. He's a, what's your qualification? Pardon? Oh, anyway, he's a B, but we don't need any qualification. This is a handheld. Can you show can you connect the camera? So this costs about 4 lakhs. And without the chin rest, it's only 3,15,000. Anyway, as I said, no financial interest. And there's another camera called 4S, and then there's so many others coming out. But I think the cheapest is 3,15,000. And I think you don't need a doctor, you don't need a technician. And we are actually having a MOU with the Government of India, where we can give a certificate after 3 weeks, and we're practically taking photograph. And his duty only will be take photo and use the offline AI. And I think even they have a scheme, I think, where both the companies, what is the name, Forus and Remedio, you don't have to buy the camera. I think you can pay some 10,000 rupees a month, and accordingly, each patient, they will reduce the fee, so that 1/3 will go to the eye doctor for giving the diagnosis by internet, and 1/3 will go to the diabetologist, and 1/3 will go to the company, so that even you don't have to invest 3,15,000.
These are midriatics or non-midriatics?
This is a non-midriatic. And we are not going into the detail because what I'm saying, NHS, I think, Sober has also published, and plus I think she has compared pupils between Indian eyes. And I think 55% you can use non-midriatic. And NHS has done in few million people with 1% tropicamide. At the end of 10 minutes, you can take a fundus photograph with any camera.
We have SGLT2 inhibitors, DPP4, GLP1 receptor agonists. So in my practice, I found that I'm using this drug and lesser use of insulin, the micro complications and macro have come down.
So Dr. Rajiv Raman I know Dr. Rajiv Raman and Dr. Rajalakshmi is working in MV Hospital, and Dr. Rajiv Raman is working in Shankanethralaya. He will come in.
Sir, this DPP4, they have found effectiveness in nephropathy, but however in retinopathy...
How is practical experience in seeing whether, because previously we used to say micro and macro.
Macro, yeah.
But now I find that thing, I use a lot of SGLT, DPP4 and GLP. So I find most of the complications like cardiovascular and have come down.
It may probably be because of a good glycemic control, as Dr. Vailatham was telling, that good glycemic, but as such, whatever literature today says, there is no, I'm coming from Shankanethralaya, and we do see many patients who are on these drugs, even having severe form of retinopathy. So again, experience may not be a very accurate thing, but evidence today doesn't suggest it has a protection for retinopathy. It does have a protection for nephropathy.
Lakshmi should have a data on this because she is in a diabetic center. So maybe you can look into the newer drugs and the risk of retinopathy.
Yeah, the main thing is, I think the early glycemic burden, I think, has an important role to play. It depends on when the patient has come. If they have had higher HbA1c during the earlier period, even after you use the best of drugs later on, once diabetic retinopathy sets in, even after they bring down their HbA1c to less than 7, the early glycemic burden, I think, because of the metabolic memory, they still tend to develop retinopathy and progress with the increasing duration of diabetes, and is what we have found. But at least it will delay the progression of retinopathy with the use of these drugs.
So that is why I'm recommending from the age of 30, we should do screening. And the screening can be done by anybody. No need to go to eye hospital or a clinic or a diabetic. But as you rightly said, every diabetologist should have a tie-up with an ophthalmologist so that the patients are benefiting. And I think in Bombay, they have some tie-up with some diabetologists are having their camera and directly they're advising the patient. Sometimes diabetologists diagnose cataract also, which I find it too much.
They go when there's a retinal bleed or something, you know, they have cataract or they go to doctor. They don't go for screening. That is the problem.
No, I know. That is why we are saying screen anybody so that we'll have the data of the patient and screen them. So the idea will be, as Dr. Rajalakshmi says, I think many patients don't want to believe about this diabetic metabolic memory, which is a problem because patient will come and tell me, oh, today my sugar is all right. And he is on renal failure. He doesn't understand that his sugar is under control, not because of his medicine or exercise. It's because his renal profile is gone for a sixer. And that's why I tell them 5 things the patient should know. It's a microangiopathy, affects the brain, eye, then heart. You have the stroke, then you have a diabetic foot and nephropathy. So I think patients don't know. They all think I have eye problems, somehow make me all right. They don't understand, and I think Dr. Velayudham Pillai touched the protein in the urine, albuminuria, microalbuminuria. But I think I am talking about before they are even diabetic. For example, parents are diabetic at the age of 30, and today also I will not tell him. I went to a classmate who died of diabetes, and his son, I asked him, he's saying, I have not checked. I mean, that's a problem in city of whether in Mumbai or, and I am seeing them in New York also. The patient comes with blindness. And then they say patient is not being screened at all. In US, at least, most of the patients are lasered when they are having proliferative diabetic retinopathy. In India, patients come with vitreous hemorrhage, and then they realize I went to sleep yesterday night, and when the BP goes up at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, which is normal diurnal variation, the new blood vessel gives way, and they come blind. And if they have one eye blind, they don't even recognize because they never close one eye and check. So that's why I keep telling them each eye has to be checked. They can simply check. We have that one chart called Amsler chart, which shows whether you can see the square straight or not, which is useful for AMD, but at least you know whether you have a vision or not in one eye. And I think that's the idea of the whole meeting, where we are all treating in city patients with diabetes for 10 years. Or I am seeing diabetic patients with they will say only 2 years diabetic, and they have already a toe amputation and a retinopathy. How can you have retinopathy and a foot problem in 2 years? No? That means 10 years he has not taken diabetic medicine. He's lived and now come with the complication. So I think the prevention is better than cure. I think people have to understand, and you have to prevent diabetes, because I always tell diabetes is like animal. If you control it, it's good. But as Dr. Rajalakshmi pointed, an important one, you don't control for 10 years and last 5 years you want to say, I have control, but the diabetic metabolic memory. And these are the patients who give bad advertisement saying that I did all the laser and still I'm going blind in one eye. And fortunately, both eyes do not go at the same time. But I have recently a 40-year-old man with both eye vitreous hemorrhage came. That means one eye was had and he didn't realize. And the second eye gets a hemorrhage and he becomes blind. And the whole family comes and cries. Fortunately, there was no minimal traction. Patient got 6 and 6 after vitrectomy, which is possible. But the patient comes with neovascular glaucoma. Even we have an antivascular endothelial growth factor we can inject. So one is detect early, and even if it is late, and go refer to the tertiary care centers where retina surgeons may do something, not all patients. So we have a program called Happy Smile where we record whenever the patient comes blind and they can see. But all diabetic traction detachment may not see. And that's why we have to prevent.
Normally, I tell my diabetic patients when they come for consultation, 4 Ds are important to control the 5th D diabetes. The first will be the diet, second will be the drugs, third will be the discipline, lifestyle, fourth will be the doctor's checkup. So we have to take the extra minute chair time with each patient and tell them about this disease and counsel them rather than treating the eye alone.
No, I
that
agree.
also matters.
But the problem is the patient, when they have blind, they tell me, don't tell me Bhagavad Gita and all this now. They tell me first treat me. So I think that's the problem. I think the idea is if they know they have a complications can happen with diabetes. We have done a study where our diabetologist, Dr. Kiran Shah, has published in a study called Diamond Study. I think 60% do not know when they have diabetes, they can go blind or they will develop retinopathy. It's a sad thing. They think diabetes affects only kidney or foot. And in case the family, somebody had a problem, then they will realize. Otherwise, they don't know.
That's why we need the immense support from the physicians, the
No, that's why
diabetologists.
I'm happy there are several physicians here. Anybody can ask questions or give some comments also, sir. Yeah, the idea here is not to teach. I think the idea here is how we can come together and address the public.
Does alcohol increase the blood sugar? Because you may control the diabetes very well with all the possible drugs. Then the guy goes and drinks in the night. Does it matter?
That's why we are not serving drinks here. Dr. Arun Kumar, you are in a general practice, no? Can you want to say something? Add to all this? Or any of the other doctors, sir? You are all come from. No, you will not get good image. You can use, you have to dilate, and cataract is like depending on the opacity. Even a regular camera with 50 lakh camera also, if the cataract is more, you can't take picture. But if it is early cataract, you can definitely take, if it is translucent. It depends on the opacity intensity. And this is the image which you can, which is any non-medical fellow can take it.
So if there's no more, I will hand over the mic to, I think, Rajalakshmi, you want to add something?
Great talk. And we all share your dream. It is really a great dream, and hope exactly what you said. Everybody gets screened. All diabetics get screened for retinopathy. Only concern of training people is they should, once you train, they should use that training. I think that is important. You have a very good program now where you are trying to train. I think the dream can only be successful if it goes in the government system.
Yes.
No, unless and until these people, they find their job to take the retinal image. I think that is a crucial thing. And as sir rightly said, the block is a fundus camera, the cost. No, a common physician who's probably the maximum equipment he has is a ECG machine, which may not cost. So definitely there is hardware is a concern.
Yes.
And I'm sure the camera's cost will reduce.
Yeah, and camera cost will reduce, and I think we should have centers which are not connected at all, where diabetologists or ophthalmologists need not own this camera. It can be in some other places where the patient can go check, bring the report to any doctor where they want to go. That will be the ideal, and that's why I'm working. It's like a lot of jigsaw puzzle, a lot of things have to be filled up, where I'm working with NGOs, maybe Rotary, Lions, and government, mainly government. I think the problem is, I went and met the health minister, Dr. Harshvardhan, and the health secretary. Now the health secretary is changed. So we are addressing them, but they are saying, no, we are already doing NCD, that is non-communicable disease, diabetes, hypertension, breast cancer, cervical cancer. And I think I spoke to Mr. Ratan Tata. They have given the radiology software free to Government of India. So similar thing, Ratan Tata like person have to support the government. So it will be a government program where the government will buy the equipments. Now, yesterday, I don't know how to read that. In the budget, they have given 2.42 lakh crore for health. So I don't know how much is given for prevention. And I think in the name of Corona, they are giving. So I really don't know how to read that budget. But I'm thinking somebody should read. I am now working with the chairman of JL Morrison's company. He is now putting on me to with the chairman of Mr. Paul Pullman, who was the chairman of Unilever. So we're going to work with them to see how we can work in India, Africa, and South America.
And just wanted to add, ADA guidelines, what sir rightly showed, 2021 has included AI as a screening method. So it has included, however, it has given a very clear guideline when you should use AI for screening. An important thing is that people who are have diabetes, who already are diagnosed to have diabetic retinopathy, AI has no role. So if a person says he has retinopathy, you cannot use it for monitoring the disease. These are the people who should go to eye doctor. However, those who are not diagnosed, for screening, AI is a role. Another important thing is you need to complete the loop. You cannot just screen and diagnose somebody unless you know where to send him. I think that closing the loop is also important.
Definitely. And I think in the cancer, there is an IPC that if you diagnose a cancer in a screening camp and you don't treat, you are liable for prosecution. In diabetes, they can't do that. But I think it's our moral duty. And that's why I'm recommending I written screen, diagnose, and treat. So it's not just screen and screening camp. So I think we do daily screening camp and we treat them free. But I think we have a problem in Smart India. I think about 180 patients. Patients are not willing for treatment, even though the centers are ready to treat, because they are not counseled well. In spite of telling, they're afraid, because they have a bad advertisement that my relatives got or my friends got laser and I have become blind. And I think that's because of the half knowledge. And I think it's a problem. I mean, that's where public articles have to come. We have to impress Novo Nordisk, the Novartis, and all the diabetes drug company to write an article without any doctor's name. The diabetes can have 5 complications, and if you are blind, it's the worst complication. And he said, 7 wonders you have to see, you need eye. And what is the point? And then everybody, they say, another problem is AMD. No, you retire at 60 and you want to enjoy life, and you develop AMD or diabetic maculopathy or diabetic blindness, your life is doomed. And the worst is to have vision and lose vision. So I think, yes, sir.
Too many diabetic patients and too little ophthalmologists. So if we send all the diabetic patients to ophthalmologist, they will be overloaded, and in no time they will be able to manage
Fully
it.
agree with
No,
you.
that is the reason this meeting.
So that is why this apparatus should become cheaper and should be present in all the diabetologist chamber.
Agree with
If it is possible, at least to screen. We are not going to treat the patient. I mean, we will screen the patients and see if their diabetic retinopathy is in a stage to be referred. If we identify they are having a severe non-proliferative diabetic retinopathy or a proliferative diabetic retinopathy, then immediately we will refer. So that should be the idea. So otherwise, referring all the patients to ophthalmologist, they will not go. Once they go there also, it becomes a overburdened work for the ophthalmologist. So screening in the clinic of the diabetologist and every physician becomes it should be a goal, and it should be somehow made practical so that all the patients are screened.
Yeah, that's why every state I'm talking to them as a diabetic blind free Tamil Nadu, so that the health minister has to take it up and do it. And I think they have to do it in PHC, they have to do it in the government. And I think every diabetologist in government also does not have a camera, and government can afford camera. And I think there's always a missing link between physician, ophthalmologist, even in the government setup, because there's no joint effect done. But there has to be a joint effect, and through eye they can diagnose the other complications, also renal. So you can get all the tests done. In Municipal Corporation of Bombay, they are ready to do free everything, all the checkups. So we are doing it with them, and we are doing eye checkups also now. And I took 5 years to get an MOU. But all the bureaucrats have to be convinced. That's why I told Dr. Rajshekhar to come here. He's from the government side. And we have to not only tell the health minister, we have to tell the health secretary. And I think they have to take it as a primary, because probably they are not understanding. They are all thinking, okay, this is another project another doctor is giving. I think they are not able to understand. That's why, as an All India Ophthalmic Society, I made a committee which is for 5 years, and Dr. Rajiv, Dr. Raj Lakshmi were all there. So every state ophthalmic society and IMA and physicians have to come together and pressurize the health minister and health secretary. Every state, because unfortunately, health is a state subject. It's not government of India.
Now, I want to ask the ophthalmologist one question. Is it possible for you to set up a dedicated diabetic ophthalmic clinic? Is it possible? Your setup is a very, very big setup. I mean,
the thing is, the point of contact for any patient who has diabetes, any person who has diabetes, is their physician. they will not come to the ophthalmologist until or unless they have a problem. And the thing is, for just routine glass checkup, they go to any optical shop. So there has to be a diabetic eye clinic, a small mini, at least a camera, which is available for screening, where they should have some friend where even the images can be shared with a consultant, with a tie-up needs to be there. Ours is, of course, we have a full-fledged diabetic eye care unit at our center, with due to Dr. Amma Mohan and Dr. Her vision. But I think because patients are not going to go to Shankarnetralaya until and unless they have a problem. We see the mild NPDRs and moderate NPDRs, where with good glycemic control itself, we can prevent progression to severe NPDR and PDR. Whereas they will go to Shankarnetralaya only when they have severe diabetic macular edema or proliferative diabetic retinopathy. So when we catch them early is the key.
So the vision is not the criteria which a patient has to understand, and the physician. Everybody, oh, I don't have a complaint. Why should I go to eye doctor? And the other one is there is Dr. Sendil in Madras. He's an ophthalmologist, but now he's become a businessman. He's got 100 retina cameras, and he's giving it to the physicians and ophthalmologists, general ophthalmologists, where I think he has a tie-up, and I don't know how it works, but he's got a private equity funding, and he's got about 100 cameras all over Tamil Nadu and some in North also. And I think
even government
Sir?
has
Camera can be sold in divided EMIs.
yeah, they are doing it. I think that's why I said.
Example, say for 4 years, let's see.
Yeah, they are doing it,
As
sir.
he said, and only little ophthalmologist. I think you can sell to even 200, 300 physicians this camera
Yes.
and divide EMIs without interest for 4 years. Why can't you? You can sell very easily. Am I right or not?
Management people, so then only
10,000 rupees per month for 4 years.
I have to discuss with our management people and tell to
Yeah,
doctor.
that's a good idea.
Sir,
You have to talk.
Easily
as
they'll
you
buy.
rightly said about Dr. Senthil, even government, Tamil Nadu government, in 60 PHCs, there are 60 fundus cameras. Which
Are they
there.
using?
There are for last 2 years not used.
Not used. Okay.
Not used. Forus fundus
No,
camera
Kim
are
was,
available in 60 PHCs in Tamil Nadu.
No, I went to Arvind. Arvind was upset because they.
If it's a private hospital, definitely they keep trained skilled people. Because,
Yeah.
referral is very important for them. But you can.
But they have a scheme where per patient they already have. For example, if they keep the camera, you don't have to pay anything, and per patient they take money. That scheme they have, I know that, but I don't know about the EMI, which they have to decide. So they give a camera, and then every month you can add whatever money and how many patients you have seen. They use it, and I think Sendil also does that. But Sendil collects, I think, some deposit, and so these people don't collect, I think, and Forus also has.
Anyway, the business part of it, they can directly speak to the physicians and whatever the EMIs or whatever the mode of things you can discuss with them.
That's why it has to have a political will, and when the government they are doing, they will generate more patients for treatment, either diabetic or renal or any complication. And that's what I'm trying to tell every IMA meeting, that you can increase your revenue, and whoever cannot afford can go to government hospital. And I think it's not a problem.
Not in the ophthalmologist to be. Your target is physicians and
We are doing
ophthalmologists already have all the equipment.
Thank you, sir.
I see one point. Yes, sir. Atik. Yes. Like whatever we have been speaking along, I just want to add one more point in that line, sir. Working at RIO and seeing patients from the Rajiv Gandhi Government General Hospital referred for diabetic retinopathy, it's a very eye-opening moment when we see our own colleagues, our own doctors, let alone the general public, our own doctor colleagues who come to us, and when we first see diabetic retinopathy in them, it will be at a near high-risk PDR stage. this is very sad to say. I'm sure every ophthalmologist amongst us will vouch that the first time fundus examination and diagnosis of diabetic retinopathy in medical doctors will be done at an advanced stage, where intervention will become very tricky and prognosis will become very guarded. And I was thinking for a very long time, is there any dearth of supply? There is no dearth of supply. It's a dearth of demand. What we have to do is not stock ourselves. In fact, Dr. Rajiv nicely pointed out that very subtly. I'm sure I'll want to make it louder. He said 60 PHCs have fundus cameras. So supply is not the issue, sir. Supply is not the issue. Demand is the issue. And one small trick I've been following all along, at least for the past 10 years, is whenever I see somebody with diabetic retinopathy and I want them to come very much to me periodically, at least once in a year, I usually assess how many times they would have gone to the ophthalmologist in that calendar year. That's the previous visit to the next visit to me. They would have gone at least 3 times, sir. At least 3 times. Every quarter they go to an diabetologist. But coming to an ophthalmologist every year becomes a bit very uncertain, because they think that only when they have an eye complaint, they have to go to the ophthalmologist. In fact, diabetologists themselves, I'm just like saying this as a sharing in a closed door meeting. Diabetologists themselves think that only if the patient complains of a floater or a red eye or a defective vision, they should be referred to an ophthalmologist. That thing is there, sir. Almost there, very much. So that needs to change. And the trick I'm using is every patient whom I see, at least in the well-educated sector and in the city crowd, I can't speak for the rural crowd as Dr. Natarajan says, because I don't have much experience there, but at least in the city-bred educated crowd, I say, like, in the diabetic life, every year is a bonus in your diabetic life. So every birthday of yours, see to that you have an eye checkup done. And that will restore your vision for the next year. I keep it like one time where you have to take a life insurance policy every year, update it, give the premium every year, and go for the assurance the next calendar year. That way it works, sir. I'm just leaving it to the August audience here, whether you can also try the same trick, and maybe it will work with your crowd. Thanks.
Rajshekhar, in my private practice, the patients come late, but because we are working in Dharavi for all the slums in Mumbai for the last 25 years, we have 40 workers going. Can you believe the diabetic retinopathy rate is very low? And that is because they are checking, and all my community health workers know about their renal profile, their heart problem. Even sometimes ladies ask about pregnancy. The reason is we have visited 2 lakh slum houses, and we have touched 8 million people. So this is in the presidential speech, I said, if one eye doctor can do so much, Arvind can do so much, Shankaranila can do so much, I think all of us can do. So I think the question here is we have to keep on making awareness. And as you rightly said, awareness among eye doctors is a problem. And when a doctor comes with one eye with hemorrhage and one eye, and then the doctor says, I don't have time, I have so many patients, I cannot come monthly injection. I mean, I have patients like that. Every day they will get. So I think that is because they themselves tell doctors are bad patients. Why? You are healthy, you can treat well, no? So I think we have, as Velayathan Pillai says, I am addressing now all diabetic meetings in India, and COVID came. So as a president of All India, I have requested everywhere there has to be an ophthalmologist talking in the diabetes meeting, and diabetologist has to talk in that. And I went and addressed RSSDI, then Diabetes India, and many groups I'm addressing, just to say that I attended that RSSDI meeting. I think 10,000 physicians attend. I don't think ophthalmology we have so much, and all of them are not worried about retinopathy at all. I'm telling that. I think Dr. Velayathan will agree, and Hydri will agree. No, I agreed. No, I agree. See, I think we all have to work together. I think we are all telling the same, that vision will not be the criteria for checkup. The checkup criteria is above 30. I ask this patient, every patient, can you do HbA1c every year? I'm not a diabetologist, but they don't do. And all the patients whom I'm talking can afford. When they afford me, they can afford anything. So they can do the HbA1c in the diabetic family. They don't do. I'm telling you, today my classmate son, I asked, have you checked? He said, no.
The more camps we conduct, I think the more...
No, but that we are helping the poor people. So the eyes of the poor people are excellent in Dharavi and not in the rich people. And that's what is my experience, because I feel diabetic patients in Dharavi are looked after better because we go and check in their house, door to door like this. We take it home and check. But they say, I don't want to come there.
The same thing can be done for the middle class and upper class.
Forest is coming with the idea of taking the camera to home, but all it's
As the doctor says, even the doctors themselves are
correct, yes, late.
late in going. So if we conduct a periodic camp, like how we conduct a blood sugar camps and all that,
Sure. Okay, Ajay, I think.
Thank you, sir. Heartfelt thanks on behalf of Madras City Ophthalmic Association to all our members of the IMA for having come and made this meeting a grand success. Special thanks to Professor S. Natarajan for having come all the way from Mumbai for this event. Thanks to Dr. Velayudham Pillai for sharing his knowledge on diabetes to this forum and to ophthalmologists also. Thank you very much, sir. Thanks to our chairperson, Rajiv Raman sir, Kasinathan sir, and Rajalakshmi madam. Thanks for your time. And thanks to our audiovisual team, Mr. Murali, Blue Cross Laboratories Limited, Mumbai, and Hotel Accord for the wonderful arrangements that you've done for today. Thank you very much. Hope to see you all again in another meeting very soon. Thank you.